Mm-hmm.
All right. BRF, I'll let you go first on this one. Favorite Owen Hart moment.
Mm, I don't know. I would have loved to have seen him win a world championship. I would have loved to have seen him got an opportunity at a world championship before he passed away. I mean, that's an unfortunate thing with Owen Hart. I definitely I enjoyed the rivalry he had with Brett. That that cage match. Ugh, that cage match at SummerSlam was, man. That's that's one of those matches that you kind of frame up somewhere, and you kind of it's one of those matches that you kind of keep it in the back of your mind. And if, like, what I'm saying, you're bored and you're not doing much, and you kind of want messing around piddling with wrestling, and you want to watch a good match, you watch that cage match between those two, because it was like, even though there was the brutal aspects of it. I mean, it's Brett and it's Owen, and they were just still always trying to just prove who was better in terms of just, their technical prowess, and just being who they were. That SummerSlam cage match for me is always a go to. Um, I loved, even though they didn't capitalize on this angle, the the black heart, the Blackheart angle, where it was just like they were kind of like trying to let him run with it, just kind of see where it would go. And then, but then people started getting behind him, and people starting to cheer for him. And I feel like it was one of those. I feel like it could have been the angle to really be the catalyst into Owen Hart just becoming like one of the faces of WWE, just being one of those faces that could help, like, carry that company years from then and into like a new era. And just and with the Blackheart angle, like, so many angles it could have played into. You cut with with the Bret, with the Bret Hart stuff, and just like all of the controversy that was surrounding, I think, yeah, like Bret and Shawn and all that stuff that was going on, all the controversy that just like really just took heed of, like, kind of jumped in front of everything else that was going on. Like, that Owen Hart, that Blackheart version of Owen Hart could have been something that I was thinking it was going to propel him to the WWE Championship, and it didn't. And but yeah, I would have to go with that Blackheart angle, just because of the organic feel to it, because it started off like you didn't know what was going on. Then as the week progresses, like, the popularity came up, and like I said, it got to a point where you're kind of holding out hope. Maybe you could finally win him a world championship with this angle, but they never did it. But even still, I love the kind of like a reboot to Owen Hart, and like, kind of, everything that was going for him at the time. The Blackheart angle was like a reboot, like seeing like a side of Owen you don't necessarily always see, and it was good for the time. So, and like I said, he's like one of the most underrated performers wrestling has ever seen. I still think he's the biggest opportunity as far as like putting the world championship on somebody, just to see what he could do and where he could have taken it. So, but yeah, for me, my favorite Owen Hart moment was that entire that Blackheart angle. Like I said, it was fresh, and it was something different from Owen, and it was something we needed to see to add layers to him, the layers to his character, and it was just great. It was just great on his part. So, yeah, for me it was that entire Blackheart angle.
I would say the WrestleMania moment between him and Bret Hart when he beat Bret Hart that match, and I think it was a great moment. And that was also still the night in which Bret Hart didn't he win the main event match?
Yeah, he
at
beat
that wrestling.
Yokozuna.
So
Yeah, I
for
forgot.
yeah, so for Owen to have that type of moment, I mean, wow. And can you imagine if Owen Hart were still alive today? Imagine what he could be in today's wrestling.
Yeah,
You would definitely see him have a WWE title because of how great he was a technician, the athlete. Heck, BRF, you've even made the argument yourself. He's better than Brett.
I felt like from just an all around standpoint, I always felt like Owen had the keys to the kingdom, man. Owen could do more. The pro, like
I think he
not
had better
just the
promos.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't just his technical. It wasn't just the technical wrestling, which we all know he could do. But I mean, he could just do everything. The high, the high flying, the promo work. I always felt like he was an underrated guy on the mic. I felt like all around Owen could do more. He was more talented to me.
Not to mention Owen Hart though was a hell of a ribber. He was one hell of a champ. Do you remember the story with him and D'Lo Brown? I think I sent you the video on Dark Side of the Ring.
Well, man, he kept on tying the shoe.
Yep. And D'Lo's like, how is he doing this? I mean, I never. D'Lo's like, how the hell is he doing this? I always tie my shoes. And then Owen's like, you calm now? Let's get to wrestling. And also, I mean, just listen to D'Lo Brown. Listen to the great Mark Henry. I mean, Owen Hart, man, he was a well-known ribber. He was funny. Nothing but great things about him from Jim Ross, Jim Cornette. Gone way too soon at the age of 33, 34 years old. But if he were in today's generation, my God. The
Man,
floor is yours, champ.
I know this is. Look, I actually watched the new generation era. You know, I still watch it to this day. Y'all remember when he won those two Slammy Awards? He just kept carrying them around.
Yes.
Yeah,
I got two Slammies. So
Mhm.
I think that was good. One of my greatest moments, Owen Hart, when he won the tag team titles at WrestleMania 11 with Yokozuna.
Mm.
I think that was good. And you know, his heel work was good because the reason why he chose, remember doing that match, he was going up against the Smoking Guns, Bart and Billy Gunn. And remember why he chose Yokozuna. He said, for my partner, I chose a man who did something I wanted to do all my life. And that guy beat my brother Brett for the World Wrestling Federation title. And that guy is Yokozuna. So his heel work, that was diabolical. They picked the guy who beat your brother for the World Wrestling Federation title, like the previous like other year for the title at WrestleMania 9. That was diabolical as a heel for you to pick him. So and Yokozuna was a hell of a wrestler as well. You know, although he was getting towards the end at that point, I love seeing that, man. You know, oh, granted, Owen knew he had to carry the brunt of the work for them, but you know, it was an incredible moment because you realize how over he really was. You know, and that that was a great moment. You know, but I have to go with when he won the two Slammies because he kept he put them on his tights, 2-time Slammy Award winner. It was crazy. And then him and Bulldog was beefing during that time, even though they was tag team partners. And in the first thing he said, he's got two belts, I've got two Slammies. So
Mhm.
that was a moment, man. That was a moment. But I gotta pick the one that he did with Yokozuna at WrestleMania 11. That was beautiful. That was very beautiful.